Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, this is your timeless reading, and if you are a returner, thank you for coming back and infusing your energy into these readings. If you clicked on this video, there may be a message from your spiritual team here for you. Don't forget to look at the date it was posted, any timestamps that jump out to you, because all of that may have some channeled guidance in there for you. And this reading is focused on emotional healing. So we're going to start with the Healing Waters Oracle. Okay, we had a few cards that fell. Got here. We have a few cards that fell on the ground, so I picked those up. And the first card that came out says, "The Sirens Use Your Voice, Expansion and Freedom." And what was interesting is I really felt like there needed to be more said, but it felt like I had to force it out. And so whoever is coming to this reading likely has some sort of block in the way that they express themselves, and this energy of feeling a lack of freedom around saying how you feel, or just, expanding the way that you communicate. There may be a level in which you communicate where you could seek to communicate at a higher level. Like, for example, if you're like the kind of person that is prone to anger, the next level of that is like, could you respond to the same stimuli neutrally? And then could you respond to the same stimuli from, a more integrative standpoint, where maybe you're considering the other side? Can you be considerate? Can you look at it from the bright side and up and up and up? You know what I mean? As opposed to having the same like trained emotional responses to things. And so what you communicate always sounds like you're angry, or always sounds like you're irritated, but you can't articulate more behind that, right? Okay. And then we have Ride the Waves, Life Lessons and Growth. You will get through this. Okay, so there's also, I'm gonna try to show you guys the cards, of course, both of these together. There's also this period of emotional loss, okay? Because there's a lot coming up with this energy, because there has been a lack of expression. So this is like a lot of water, being held behind a dam. So there is a level of emotional frustration that is coming up in this reading. And there's also this energy of wanting to just throw in the towel. But what feels really different about this is, if you're sort of used to putting your emotions aside and not focusing on them, and that's been your way of handling things, I think that in this particular period, that system is coming up against your current environment and your spiritual team's desire for you to grow past that. That's another reason why we're going back to expansion and freedom, where it's like you're being pushed and forced to actually sit in the emotions as opposed to escape them. Okay, then we have Atlantis, Keep the Big Vision, Stay in Alignment as You Grow. And in the reverse position, Follow the Stream, Dedication, Trust, Future Rivers and Oceans. Okay, in the reverse. So there's also this, there's a couple of things taking place. With Atlantis, this is speaking to a lack of trust, right, in our emotional world. When it says keep the big vision, stay in alignment as you grow, the reason why I attribute that to a lack of trust is because when certain emotions arise that contradict what you're used to, there is immediate distrust for that, right? Because we're used to the repetition of whatever our emotional cycle is. If it's a repetition of dread, it's a repetition of dread. If it's sadness, if it's depression, if it's whatever it is, we're used to repetition of it. So in a cyclical way, right? Because this is our emotions. And so sometimes things are coming up because we need to address them, but not because it's cause for an alarm. It's not like, this is why our emotional reactions to things need to expand or elevate, because there is this energy to be triggered into a fear state, when really what's happening is you're feeling a certain emotion to better align you, right? Because there is a path. And then we have follow the stream, dedication, trust, future rivers in reverse. This is what is not seen at this moment. And this level of uncertainty and being dedicated to wherever these emotions are taking you is where a lot of the discomfort is coming in. If you're coming to this reading, it's like, I'd like to just trust the way that I'm feeling, but I also don't know where it's taking me. And oftentimes, you know, if this is resonating with you, you may struggle to commit to things because you cannot predict the future. And so this energy of not being able to commit emotionally is due to a lack of trust, right? But that goes back to alignment and the experiences, these emotional waves that you're having, where maybe you feel inspired to change something, to address something, to express whatever to whomever. It comes up against this fear because we inherently distrust those emotions in general, okay? And then on the bottom of the deck, we have King Tide, plenty, prosperity, receiving the fullness of life. And what I think is so interesting is, like, out of all of these cards, there is a masculine image on this card. So I've known for a little bit that I have a bit of a masculine. There's only a few of us here, but it's definitely a lot of masculine energy. And or so divine masculines, people who may be in search of and are just finding out that they're on a divine masculine journey, which is crazy that they're having me talk to you, or people who have been living in their masculine energy and are learning how to integrate that with their feminine. But there's definitely a heavy masculine presence over this reading. So this is likely, and because this is also the throat chakra, right, which is a masculine chakra, but this is about communicating your emotions, okay, which is coming from your heart space. So there are a lot of people coming to this reading who may have struggled with a blocked heart space, or who are in the part of their masculine journey where they have to learn how to articulate how they feel, okay? But part of the issue here, well, not issue, but part of what's going on, plenty, prosperity, receiving the fullness of life, is we have become so accustomed to separating ourselves from things that we deeply feel, we don't think that we're missing anything. And that's why future rivers and oceans is in the reverse positions, because we're missing a level of emotional depth in our life because we've avoided, you know, we've been avoiding water in the shallow end. So the amount of depth that we could have, it's like you can't even imagine. It's like that, oh my gosh, it's from Avatar, The Last Airbender. It's something like, you know, a fish like in a river like can't imagine like the vastness of an ocean or something. Like I will find it. I gotta post a couple of things on our community page, a pose from the last reading, and whatever this quote is. You know, it was about mastering patience. That's what it was about. And there's this energy of lack of patience emotionally, so we never actually get to the prosperity of depth. All right, we never actually experience how good emotional depth can feel. Oh, sorry about that. So we're going to go ahead and clarify this with tarot. And then I'll probably use the empathic deck to pull out any other clarifications we might need. And whoever is experiencing this, you may be experiencing like tension in your jaw, lockjaw, like when your jaw pops, tension in your throat, literally, physically, your throat might hurt. Okay. When it comes to expanding your voice, sirens, use your voice, okay? Okay, so this is for the person who you actually know that you... I'm always afraid that this candle is going to catch a card on fire. So I'm gonna switch it so I can stop doing that to y'all. Thank you for bearing with me. All right. You know that you have a talent for speaking, or you know that you have some sort of talent in the throat capacity, because there is sirens. So sirens, people, obviously attribute to sirens as dangerous, mermaids who lure you to your death, right? By singing to you. But sirens is really just a spiritual gift that some of us do have. And if you're coming to this reading, you likely are a siren. You may have strong Taurus or Libra placements. A lot of Taurus and Libras are sirens. Sirens, water signs are also a lot of sirens, or heavy water, heavy Venusian placements, okay? Even though we're getting Leo energy here, but because this is about confidence, and you actually know that you are a talented writer, speaker, or that at the very least, when you speak, people listen. This is something that they're wanting you to lean into more, okay? Okay, Two of Wands when it comes to ride the waves, okay? So this is also about direction, okay? Because, and if you have been feeling like you have been lacking direction, I would definitely listen to the previous reading right before this one. But this is kind of like weaving into that energy, because there is this desire to have direction in life, to feel like you have more of a plan about where you're going. And that's why the emotional waves feel really overwhelming to you, because you don't know where they're taking you. But there is this energy that where it's taking you is to a deeper clarity about where you want to direct your life. So if you're frustrated about where you want to direct your life, but you're also resisting emotional ebbs and flows, it's like the solution is in the thing that you're resisting. And I want to use the empathic deck to just clarify a little bit more, because I feel like that is I feel like for someone, that is a big aha moment. Okay. Non-duality and earth. So with non-duality, there's obviously a yin-yang energy on this card, but it is about balance, and it is also about integration and the gray area, right? So like there will always be, in the process of grounding your life and managing your emotions, right? Because this is kind of what we're talking about here. There will always be a push and pull relationship between what needs to get done and what feels right. Or what needs to get done, or what feels right, or what triggers you and what inspires you. Okay, like there will always be that relationship that you have to balance. Okay, and so part of what you're going through now is to help you master that relationship, and to not silo it so much where you feel like you can only be in one frame of mind or the other frame of mind, and that your emotions undermine your actions, or your actions undermine your emotions. Like there has to be you have to be able to learn how to ride the ups and downs of when you put your emotions first or when you act. You put your actions first. Okay, so with keep the bigger vision. Keep the bigger vision, stay in alignment. Okay, wow, Scorpio energy. So that's more water. So exactly. So what I was saying before was about how this is trying to, your emotions are actually acting as your transformer, right? It's actually aligning you to where you're supposed to be going so that you don't feel like you're directionless, and so that you feel like when you're communicating with purpose. But one of the things that we need to stop doing is resisting the transformation. And a part of that is a death of an old self, the birth of a new self, okay? And for follow the stream in reverse, okay, Venusian energy, Libra, okay, we have justice in the reverse position. So dedication, trust. And so there's broken trust, okay? There's broken self-trust, and there may be broken trust in relationships emotionally. So we're going to actually use the empath deck for this one as well. Let me just rearrange. Make this look pretty. Okay. And we're going to see what the where the lack of emotional trust is coming from, and why it's creating this block to becoming more dedicated to our emotional journey, so that we can experience deeper, more profound emotional experiences. Like deeper love, unconditional love, happiness, joy, acceptance. Okay, so on the bottom of the deck for this, we have winter in the reverse position. So some of this energy emotionally is overdue past energy. Okay, gaslighting in the reverse and balance in the reverse. And we have two master numbers, 55 and 44. Okay, so, 3 and 22. Okay. That's major. So you may be seeing 22, 44, 55, okay? Here's the thing. There is a part of your manifestation power that is through your emotional body. And in order for you to access that, you have to release some of these old emotional, what feels like patterns, because we have balance in the reverse position. So this means that we've been doing something that has been ingrained, that has been contributing to a lack of balance. Okay, so we need to start showing up emotionally in a more balanced way by putting, quite frankly, the gaslighting behind you. Okay, so what does that look like? That looks like feeling a certain way and telling yourself you don't actually feel that way. I'm not actually uncomfortable. I'm not actually unhappy. It's not that bad. Or the opposite of whatever that is. Like this past thing, okay, that we may be holding on to, it might be that bad, right? Like it might be the opposite. Like it might. Or you could be blowing something out of proportion where you're like, this is so terrible. This is insurmountable. There's no way we can get past X, Y, and Z. And it's like, yes, you can actually. Your ego is in the way of you coming into emotional balance because you won't let go, either from guilt, because it's shattered your trust with yourself, it's shattered your trust in a relationship. The only way for you to rebuild that trust, that balance, whether it's internally or with another person, okay, is to commit to truth. Okay, that is why gaslighting is in the reverse position, because it's about, you have to stop being dishonest about what is right now in your present life impeding you from moving forward, that you are telling yourself is okay. Okay, there's a really tricky relationship here with emotions. Okay, on the bottom of the deck we have Two of Swords in the reverse position. So this tells me that you're going into a period where your indecisiveness around your emotions is definitely leaving you. So if you feel like you're not ready to start making decisions with more emotional clarity, be prepared. I hope you got something out of this reading. If you did and it resonated with you, please give this video a thumbs up, as it helps me greatly in the algorithm. Subscribe so I can tap more into your energy and provide you with more weekly timeless readings. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.